In the last video, we showed how you can get up and running with Visual Studio. In this video, we'll show you how to create your very first ASP.NET MVC application. To start, simply click File, New Project, and then choose the ASP.NET MVC4 Web Application project type. Once you've chosen the project type, provide a name for your project and tell Visual Studio where on your file system you'd like to keep it. Throughout this course, we'll be developing an online auction website. So I'm going to call my project MVC Auction and choose a suitable location on my file system. When you're done, you can click OK, and you'll be presented with a list of ASP.NET MVC project templates. Though all of these templates produce the same basic ASP.NET MVC website, each template builds on the previous one, so you can tell Visual Studio how much of your site you'd like it to generate for you from the start. For instance, the empty project template creates the most basic ASP.NET MVC website possible, generating almost no code and providing you with nothing to start with. The basic project template is the same as the empty project template, except that it adds a number of helpful client and server-side libraries such as the jQuery JavaScript library to help interact with users in the browser, and the server-side data access technology called Entity Framework to help persist data to the database. The Internet Application project template extends the basic template by adding a few basic controllers and views. Most notably, the Internet Application generates code and configuration that gives you full membership and authentication functionality right out of the box. Next up is the Internet Application template, which is very similar to the Internet Application template, but configured for intranet sites that rely on Windows authentication to authorize users. Thus, this template does away with the account management controllers and views that the Internet Application template provides. Then there's the Mobile Application template. This template generates controllers, views, and related content to help create a website that strictly targets mobile device users. Finally, the Web API project template is an extension of the basic project template, adding onto it a controller that provides data services that your ASP.NET MVC website may consume. In most circumstances, and especially when you are first getting started with ASP.NET MVC, you'll choose either the Internet Application or Web API application, depending on whether or not your application will be exposing raw data endpoints. We'll be using the Internet Application over the next several videos and come back to explore the Mobile and Web API project templates later on in the course. After you've selected the project template you'd like to use to help you get started, you'll also need to tell Visual Studio what syntax you'd like to author your views in, either the Razor or Web Forms view syntax. Quite frankly, this option is not very important as it does not have much effect on the way you build your website. The fact is, you don't really need to know what these are at this point, and you don't even need to choose between the two. You can use both syntaxes, even within the same website. So go ahead and leave the default value Razor selected. Then it's time to let Visual Studio know whether or not you'd like it to generate a unit testing project and add it to your solution. Once again, it's safe to leave this option unchecked if you choose, because you can always add a unit test project to your solution later on in the development lifecycle. When you're done choosing your options, click OK to have Visual Studio create your new website. Then, just to make sure that everything works okay, execute your website and make sure that you are able to see the site's homepage show up. To do this, you can select the Start Debugging option from the Debug menu, or you can hit the F5 shortcut key. Visual Studio will compile your website and then run it in its embedded browser and show you the result. If your homepage comes up, congratulations! You've created and run your very first ASP.NET MVC website. In the next video, we'll take a look around this new project and see what exactly makes up an ASP.NET MVC web application.